The Seven Dials Mystery, Chapter 8. We must now go back to about 20 minutes before this. Jimmy Thesiger was just waking up and heard a familiar voice saying strange words. His sleepy mind tried to understand what was happening, but could not. He yawned and rolled over to go back to sleep. "A young lady, sir, has come to see you." The voice was firm and would not stop. It was ready to keep repeating the same thing forever, so Jimmy finally gave up. He opened his eyes and blinked. "What, Stevens?" he said. "Say that again." "A young lady, sir, has come to see you." "Oh!" Jimmy tried to understand the situation. "Why?" "I could not say, sir." "No, I guess not." "No." He thought about it. "I guess you couldn't." Stevens quickly picked up a tray from next to the bed. "I will bring you some fresh tea, sir. This tea is cold." "You think I should get up and, see the lady?" Stevens did not answer, but he stood up very straight. Jimmy understood what that meant. "Oh, very well," he said. "I guess I should. She didn't give her name?" "No, sir." "Could she possibly be my Aunt Jemima? Because if she is, I am definitely not getting up."
"I would say, sir, that the lady could not possibly be anyone's aunt, unless she is the youngest of a large family." "Aha," said Jimmy, "young and lovely. What kind of person is she?" "The young lady, sir, is definitely a proper and respectable person, if I can use that expression." "You can use it," said Jimmy kindly. "Your French pronunciation, Stevens, is very good, if I may say so. Much better than mine." "I am pleased to hear that, sir. I have recently been taking a French course by mail." "Have you really? You are a wonderful man, Stevens." Stevens smiled proudly and left the room. Jimmy lay in bed, trying to remember the names of any young and respectable girls who might come to visit him. Stevens came back with fresh tea, and as Jimmy drank it, he felt a pleasant curiosity. "You've given her a newspaper and everything, I hope, Stevens," he said. "I gave her the Morning Post and Punch, sir." The doorbell rang, and he left again. A few minutes later, he returned. "Another young lady, sir." "What?" Jimmy grabbed his head.
"Another young lady. She won't give her name, sir, but says her business is important." Jimmy stared at him. "This is really strange, Stevens. Really strange. Listen, what time did I come home last night?" "Just about 5 o'clock, sir." "And was how was I?" "Just a little happy, sir, nothing more. You wanted to sing Rule Britannia." "What a strange thing," said Jimmy. "Rule Britannia, huh? I cannot imagine myself ever singing Rule Britannia when I'm sober. Some hidden love for my country must have come out because I had just a couple too many drinks. I was celebrating at the Mustard and Cress, I remember. It's not as innocent a place as it sounds, Stevens." He paused. "I was wondering—" "Yes, sir?" "I was wondering if, after drinking, I had put an advertisement in a newspaper asking for a Nammy or something like that." Stevens coughed. "2 girls showing up. It looks strange. I will avoid the Mustard and Cress in the future. That's a good word, Stevens. Avoid. I found it in a crossword puzzle the other day and liked it." While he was talking, Jimmy was quickly getting dressed. After 10 minutes, he was ready to face his unknown guests. As he opened the door to his living room, the first person he saw was a dark, slim girl he had never met. She was standing by the fireplace. Then his eyes went to the big leather armchair, and his heart skipped a beat. It was Lorraine. It was the girl in black, Lorraine, who stood up and spoke first. She was a little nervous.
You must be very surprised to see me, but I had to come. I'll explain in a minute. This is Lady Eileen Brent. I'm Bundle. That's what people usually call me. You've probably heard of me from Bill Eversley." "Oh, yes, of course I have," said Jimmy, trying to understand everything. "Hey, please sit down and let me get you a drink or something." Both girls said no. "Actually," Jimmy continued, "I just got out of bed." "That's what Bill said," Bundle told him. "I told him I was coming to see you, and he said you wouldn't be awake yet." "Well, I'm awake now," Jimmy said encouragingly. "It's about Jerry, and now about Ronnie." "What do you mean, and now about Ronnie?" "He was shot yesterday." "What?" cried Jimmy. Bundle told her story a second time. Jimmy listened like he was in a dream. Poor old Ronnie. Shot. What is this terrible situation? He sat on the edge of a chair, thinking for a minute or two. Then he spoke in a calm, steady voice. "There's something I think I should tell you." "Yes," said Bundle, encouraging him. "It was the day Jerry Wade died. On the way to tell you the bad news." He nodded at Lorraine. "In the car, Ronnie said something to me. He started to tell me something he wanted me to know, but then he said he had made a promise and couldn't continue." "Bound by a promise," Lorraine said, thinking about it. "That's what he said. Of course, I didn't ask him any more questions after that. But he was strange, really strange, the whole time. I got the feeling then that he thought, well, that it was a crime. I thought he would tell the doctor that, but no, he didn't even hint at it. So I thought I'd been wrong. And later, with all the evidence, well, it seemed like a very clear case. I thought my suspicions had been nonsense." "But you think Ronnie still had suspicions?" asked Bundle. Jimmy nodded. "That's what I think now. We haven't seen him since. I believe he was working alone, trying to find the truth about Jerry's death. And what's more, I believe he did find out. That's why the criminal shot him. And then he tried to send me a message, but could only say those 2 words. 7 dials, said Bundle, and she shivered a little. 7 dials, Jimmy said seriously. At least we have that to start with. Bundle turned to Lorraine. "You were just about to tell me?" "Oh, yes. First, about the letter." She spoke to Jimmy. "Jerry left a letter. Lady Eileen, Bundle. Bundle found it." She quickly explained how it happened. Jimmy listened, very interested. This was the first he had heard about the letter. Lorraine took it from her bag and gave it to him. He read it, then looked at her. "This is where you can help us. What was it that Jerry wanted you to forget?" Lorraine's face showed confusion. "It's so hard to remember exactly now. I opened one of Jerry's letters by mistake. I remember it was written on cheap paper and in very bad handwriting. It had an address in Seven Dials at the top. I realized it wasn't for me, so I put it back in the envelope without reading it." "Are you sure?" Jimmy asked very gently. Lorraine laughed for the first time. "I know what you're thinking, and I know that women are curious. But you see, this didn't even look interesting. It was a kind of list of names and dates." "Names and dates," Jimmy said, thinking about it. "Jerry didn't seem to care much. He laughed. He asked me if I had ever heard of the Mafia, and then said it would be strange if a group like the Mafia started in England, but that English people weren't interested in that kind of secret group. Our criminals, he said, don't have a very exciting imagination.
Jimmy pursed his lips as if to whistle. "I'm starting to understand," he said. "Seven Dials must be the main place for some secret group, as he said in his letter to you. At first he thought it was a joke, but clearly it wasn't a joke. He says so himself. And there's something else, his worry that you should forget what he told you. There can be only one reason for that. If that group suspected you knew about their activities, you would also be in danger. Gerald realized the danger and was very worried for you." He stopped. Then he continued quietly. "I have a feeling that we are all going to be in danger if we keep going with this." "If," cried Bundle, sounding angry. "I'm talking about you two. It's different from me. I was poor old Ronnie's friend." He looked at Bundle. "You've done your part. You delivered the message he sent to me. No, for goodness sake, you and Lorraine should stay out of it." Bundle looked at the other girl, waiting for her answer. Bundle had already decided what to do, but she didn't show it. She didn't want to force Lorraine Wade into a dangerous situation. But Lorraine's face immediately showed her anger and a strong will to act. "You're saying that? Do you really think for 1 minute that I would be happy to stay out of this when they killed Jerry? My own dear Jerry, the best and kindest brother any girl ever had. The only person I had in the whole world who belonged to me." Jimmy coughed, feeling a little uncomfortable. He thought Lorraine was wonderful.
"Look here," he said awkwardly. "You mustn't say that. About being alone in the world, that's not true. You have many friends who are very happy to do what they can. Do you understand what I mean?" Lorraine might have understood, because she suddenly blushed. To hide her embarrassment, she started talking nervously. "That's decided," she said. "I'm going to help. Nobody is going to stop me." "And so am I, of course," said Bundle. They both looked at Jimmy. "Yes," he said slowly. "Yes, of course." They looked at him, waiting for him to say more. "I was just wondering," Jimmy said, "how we're going to start."